What is going on, everybody? Eddie Soundhead back once again here with Soundhead Entertainment, and we are back in NASCAR Heat 3 yet again here to continue on with some more championship mode here today, and we are going into the Pocono 400. Oh, no, not Pocono. You know, Poco, no, I know that joke's been run into the ground already by millions of others. It doesn't need to be run into the ground by me, but there's plenty of meme names for this race because I cannot stand this track. In the Heat games, especially, for whatever reason, this track has just been abysmal for me for the last 3 Heat games. And they're all the same. All the races here are the same. The first 2 stages are boring. You race up front, whatever. Then you get shuffled back in the pit stops for stage 3, and then there's usually like 10 wrecks to finish the race off, and we end up finishing way farther back than we should. That's usually how just about every single race goes here, and I would bet that today's race goes pretty much the same. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Pocono, talk about the Detroit GP, and let's get on with it. All right, coming off of turn 4 down the long straightaway here. If I get a good time, I'm going to take it. Oh, I'll definitely take that at 50.349. Let's qualify with this lap right here. And we qualify 6th, which is exactly what I ran in session 2. So I will take it. And it looked like Clint Boyer was on the pole, so nice for him. All right, we got the lineup coming up now for the Pocono 400 at Pocono Raceway. This must have been before they had a title sponsor, but Alex Bowman failed technical inspection. As well did Brennan Gaughan. It seems he failed the optical scanning station multiple times, so they went to the back. And yeah, it does look like Clint Boyer is up on the pole over there. And you see our beautiful car here. Needs a little explanation. I know I usually dive into that in the intro, but we're going underway racing here. So let's see what we can get to start first before we dive into that. Of course, it ties into the Detroit GP as we're taking things 3 wide to the outside. McMurray here, and I'm going to get a little shot from him. All right. Okay. Well, that's one way to start the Pocono race. It's probably a bad omen right there, but we're still up here. Had a little interesting entry into turn 1, but on that outside, Chase Elliott is going to make me feel uncomfortable by just hanging on my quarter panel, I guess. All right, we're going to clear him finally. I got Eric Jones, Kyle Busch up here on the outside row of turn 1. They're going to try the tunnel turn 2 wide. That is brave, and that is not going to work, and Kyle Busch is checking up, and I'm running to the back of him. So that's not helpful. That's not helping anybody at all. Let's see, turn 3, I might be able to get something done here, but can't confirm that. Gonna get to the inside of Kyle Busch at least. There you go. All right, well, we got through it. Even though I hate turn 3, I hate the first corner, I hate the tunnel turn, I hate the straightaways, I hate the pit road, I hate the access road, I hate the parking lot, I hate the grandstands, I hate them all. Everything about this track just annoys me. And that's my feelings about it. Tell you how you really feel, I know, but Pocono is just not one of my favorite tracks. If there's a poop list that has tracks on it, you know, you got New Hampshire up there somewhere, Kentucky, obviously. And Pocono is definitely on the list. Pocono is definitely towards the top here. As I'm going to break my own rule 1 lap afterwards and try and go 2 wide in a tunnel turn, and that's going to cost me a spot to Eric Jones. So that's not helping anybody. And I swear sooner or later I'll start talking about the races that took place this weekend, because I really do want to talk about those, but I think we're going to have to settle in a little bit here first. And in fact, now might be a decent time to get. We might be able to get Eric Jones before this is over with. I'm not sure about Boyer. We seem to get a really good draft, but they just destroy me in the corners. So that's a bit of a problem. Can I clear Eric Jones before we get to the first corner? That would be nice, but I don't think we're going to quite get there. So we'll ride that outside lane. I feel a lot more comfortable at Pocono these first few laps than I usually do, so that's interesting. Maybe that's the benefit of the setup that I'm trying. It's just some setup I got off a YouTube video. Let's see, can I make a move on Boyer here? I learned my lesson, though. I'm not going to do the tunnel turn too wide. I instead just ruined the entire corner and held up everybody behind it. It looked like they went too wide behind me, too, and Eric Jones and Kyle Busch nearly got together in the mirror there. And that's going to give Boyer a little opportunity to get ahead of us, which might just be the perfect time to start yapping about the race weekends. So, of course, I attended the Detroit GP, as I put it in the wall here on my own. I'm very good at doing that in this game. It happens a lot in this game for whatever reason, but yeah, I was at the Detroit GP, so I can tell you a lot more about that than I can about Pocono. I did watch a little highlight video on Pocono, and it was a very short highlight video, to say the least. Other than a few incidents that took place, like Austin Dillon hitting the wall, which is a big lull, major lull, big meme right there. You know, I guess it was just a restart race, and then whoever had the restarts down, you pretty much were good to go. And so Kyle Busch gets another win, of course, go figure. To the shock of absolutely nobody, Kyle Busch is incredibly strong, and he gets another win. And a Pocono race that I'm sure a lot of people would probably not mind if they forgot. They probably already have, to be honest, unless they're just complaining about it, which, NASCAR fan's got a NASCAR fan. We can't stop that. So I can tell you about the Detroit GP, but first I'm going to try to pass Clint Boyer here. Oh, man. Clint, can I make it inside? Please don't pinch me down. Thank you. Wow. All right. I'm surprised that stuck, because that was pretty sideways right there. Kyle Busch got a run on Clint Boyer as well, so they're going to go too wide through the tunnel turn. That's going to be a disaster. Let me make sure I get through the corner first, though. Let's see. Can we do it? Can we do it? Ooh, a little tight, a little high. Should have got a little lower than that, but didn't do it. All right, so as long as I don't choke away the third corner, we'll get ourselves another stage win this season, and I choke away the third corner. You have to be kidding me. I just missed the corner, and then Clint Boyer just drives straight through me. Okay. Well, alrighty then. That was really necessary at this point of the race. I'm just going to hog the road up here, and look at everybody stacking up behind me. We crawl across the line for fifth. What the hell kind of stage finish was that? Thanks, Clint. Did Clint just make the list, Clint? Clint, you don't want to be on my list, buddy. Eric Almirola's had it coming for like 6 weeks now, and I'm still waiting on the payout for him. You don't know. Ooh, Clint, bad move. All right, so we are getting ready to go for stage 2. We pitted, got 4 tires, fuel, and fixed that little bit of damage we got at the end of stage 1. So hopefully we'll get a nice little restart here, and we are underway. Got a decent launch, it looks like. Going to get to Austin Dillon. Oh, we're going to get to Eric Jones. Oh, look at this run. What a launch here. We're going to get to Kyle Busch. We're going to get to the lead before turn 1. How about it? No luck, no skill involved there. That's just the game giving us a gift right there, I guess. I don't know what you want to call that, but to the lead. That lets me talk about some races now. I think we'll start with Pocono for obvious reasons. I did not watch the race, of course. I was a little occupied, but it didn't sound like I missed very much. Apparently, it was a pretty boring race. Just kind of your typical Pocono. Not all that exciting. Water is wet. Pocono is kind of boring. These are things that we know. Kyle Busch won the race. Kyle Larson swept the stages, and Austin Dillon crashed. Those are pretty much the main highlights. Brad Keselowski finished second. That's my personal highlight, at least. I found that out, so that's nice. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Pocono. Not a big fan of Pocono. Sorry if Pocono's your favorite track or your home track or something. I'm not dissing you. I promise I'm getting on that apron, though. Pocono almost bit me back right there for dissing it. I swear I'm not, though. I don't like this track very much. It's not my cup of tea, man. Just really not. I feel like the races aren't very good here. And in the video games especially, I suck for whatever reason at this track, which definitely does not help my opinion of it. So let's see. Can we get back by Boyer here, as I gave away the lead there in turn 1. Can I get it back in turn 3? It looks like we're going to be able to. But next we'll talk about the duels in Detroit, which I attended for the 2nd year in a row. And man, Boyer just died back there. He just lost all kinds of ground. But the duels were awesome yet again. It was a very fun weekend, a very enjoyable weekend as a whole. So there's the TLDR, basically, of the story. I got there on Saturday. I caught a shuttle bus over to the aisle, which is a great system that Detroit and IndyCar have set up for the Detroit GP. It's a fantastic system. Man, I'm on the apron again. But got there. Yeah, we knew the forecast was a little sketch, but I was holding out hope because I knew Indy was being threatened by rain the week before, and they made it in, so I was hoping we would too. But Indy isn't run in the middle of a river like Belle Isle is, so unfortunately that didn't go so well for us. But I got a little short funny story there as I completely screw up turn 2, and then it's going to let Kyle Busch take the lead from me. But yeah, I sat down. I mean, we no more than sat down. The IMSA race started. They got a few laps in, and we get a phone call from our neighbor telling us that our front door is wide open. Now, we live 2 hours away, roughly, from Detroit. You do not want to find out that your front door is wide open when you're 2 hours away from home. So that obviously gave us a little bit of a scare. Luckily, my first worst case scenario thought was, oh my God, my house is being ransacked and there's nothing I can do about it. Luckily that was not the case. Somebody in my party of everybody that was going in, it was not me, and I will not name them because I don't want to, blast them out here on my YouTube video. But somebody, as we were leaving the house, left the house without shutting the doors, let alone locking them, and we took off for Detroit with the door to our house wide open. And thank goodness for our neighbor, who we usually ask to watch the house when we're out of town because we don't live in the greatest area. You know, it's not the hood, but it's not like the nicest area. So you don't want to leave your doors unlocked, let alone wide open. But we did. So that was how my weekend started. Luckily, it was all up from there. Saturday rained on a lot. Obviously, right after the IMSA race was over, basically, it started thunderstorming and lightning in the area, so we had to evacuate the aisle, which I had done last year, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I already knew what I was supposed to do. Went back to our hotel, which was awesome. It was the Marriott at the GM Renaissance Center. Beautiful building, beautiful view. I could see Belle Isle. I had a very high room up sort of at the top of the building, and it was gorgeous. It was fantastic, and I highly recommend it. So that was a lot of fun. Got back there, hang out there for a while. I thought they were just going to cancel the race for the day, but they actually did get it back going. They started the race before we could get back to the aisle, but we did see about 40 minutes of racing on the aisle. And let's see if I can track down Kyle Busch here before this lap is over. I hope I can, but not if I touch the apron like that. So there goes that probably. And yeah, Saturday, got back to the aisle after it stopped raining and watched the rest of the race. And then, of course, Scott Dixon crashed, which was a pretty big highlight here. And we're wearing his paint colors because he, spoiler alert, won the second race. And yeah, the first day was won by Joseph Newgarden, which was pretty cool. I was happy to see that. As a sort of Team Penske fan all around, I was very happy to see them do well on the first day. Not so hot on the second day, but we'll get to that as Kyle Busch is going to take the stage win, and I'm going to almost throw it away here. And that's going to give Eric Jones a look on my inside here as we complete stage 2. But yeah, Saturday, rainy, but still enjoyable. Saw the race. And then went back to the hotel and enjoyed a Buddy's Pizza, Detroit's own. So that was cool, too. And let's go ahead and fast forward to stage 3 here. Okay, we are back. Pitted, lost some ground. I guess 4 tires was not the play.
We're going green.
And this is usually why Pocono usually falls apart. So let's see how this goes. I'll continue my story. That's pretty much all there was to say about Saturday, other than, as Paul Minardi is putting me in the wall, I rode an elevator in the GM Renaissance building with Connor Daly. That was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. Oh God, Stenhouse is taking me 3 wide and putting me in the wall, and that's gonna be Chris Buescher, and here we go. Welcome to Pocono, everybody. Did I not call it? Did I call it or did I not call it? I said we get shuffled back on pits and then there's 10 wrecks. It happens every single time. All right, we're restarting here, and hopefully I can get the rest of my trip stories in before this thing is over. And it just occurred to me that I did not pit during that, and I've got quite a bit of damage from that, don't I? So here's to hoping we can even make it to the end. All right, so yeah, rode an elevator with Connor Daly. That was pretty cool. And then Sunday came around, and that was just a fantastic day all around. It was beautiful weather. I walked, oh my God. Man, Brendan Gaughan just like shoved me into a hole. He might have actually saved me right there, but yeah, this is not good. The car is quite hurt. Oh, good God. It's blowing up on me now, ain't it? I just got to get out. Sorry, guys. Oh, God, I just dumped the 66 behind me. Well, that's going to bring out a caution, so rip us. Oh, man, killed the wall right there. That's not good. All right, well, here comes another restart, hopefully the last one. And still trying to get my story in about Sunday. So, walked the entire paddock, saw a few drivers in the paddock. Alexander Rossi drove by me on a scooter just as I was getting in there. Saw Will Power just moments after Alexander Rossi, basically. And as I walked further in, maybe the greatest moment of any moment I've ever been at a racetrack happened, where I happened upon Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 winner from 1 week ago, and was able to give him a high five and tell him right on, man. So that was awesome. That was really awesome. And yeah, then I went back to my seats a little bit later, and noticed something pretty interesting about the paddock as well. Man, is Hemrick is going to give me a shot, and he's going to turn himself, and he's going to have a horrible wreck. Oh my God, Hemrick just committed die right there. What is it with me and the RCR cars just getting killed this season? I don't know what that's all about. I'm out for blood on those guys, I guess. All right, we get overtime here now, so I'm going to have to fast track this story so we can finish it up. Basically, Team Penske was absolutely swarmed in the paddock, whereas everybody else only had a few people in front of them. You know, that just goes to show how big Team Penske is, at least in Detroit. I wonder if it's like that everywhere else. And I ask you if you've ever been in the paddock. Is Team Penske the most swarmed paddock in, you know, the most swarmed garage stall in the paddock? Races were fun to watch from the stands both days, so I you know, enjoyed that. Got my money's worth, basically. Had fantastic seats in the Grandstand 1 area, or excuse me, Grandstand 2, which is right in, basically in front of Turn 1, which was a great place to be all day. You had video screens right in front of you. You could see all around the track. And it was just awesome. It was an awesome time. Felix Rosenqvist actually wrecked it right at the end, right in front of our section, and I got it on my phone, so I'm hoping to slide that in a video at some point this week. That'll be in the highlight video. And I think I've pretty much gotten it here, as we're making some progress right towards the end of this race as well, and I'm hoping not to pull a Felix Rosenqvist right here at the end. I want to keep this thing going forward. If we can crack the top 20, I'll consider this a successful recovery. But yeah, in conclusion, Detroit was a great. I love the city of Detroit. I know it gets a bad rap, but I absolutely love the place. Love the city, love its people. Man, I do not love sliding through the corners, though. But yeah, it's fantastic, and I recommend the Detroit GP to anybody to try out at least once. Hey, it's Eric Almirola. Should we try to dump him here? Give him a wreck right here at the end. I don't think we got it. Nah, he survives. All right, Eric Almirola. We still got your number, though, buddy. We'll see you at a short track here pretty soon someday. And your ass is mine. But yeah, that pretty much was my Detroit GP experience for the second year. I'd say the second year was probably by and large, even though I got rained on a lot, it was probably better than the first, because I saw more drivers and everything else here, and we're gonna have a little run here off the corner. Oh, I'm gonna be able to finesse Eric Almirola out of his finishing position right at the end. Suck on that, Almirola. Take that, you bum. But there we go. All right, well, hey, we got 18th at the end of it. Obviously, we should have won that race, or at least finished in the top 3, but like we said, Pocono's gonna Pocono. You can't really expect anything else at this track, because it's pretty much the same thing that happens every time, and I was right. The formula stayed true today. So we'll go ahead and move on here. Getting a nice little flyby shot right here, and oh, this is the wreck from, oh my god, the 66 flipped over. I didn't even see that when it happened. Hang on, we got to take a look at this replay right here. And yeah, this was when I was incredibly damaged, and wow, the 38 of Deegan just like wedged underneath the 66 and sent him flying into the fence. Then this was a few laps later. This was the big wreck with the, or I guess not big, but the hard wreck there with Hemrick and Sorensen. And here are our finishing results from today. Finished 18th, a bit of a struggle. And look at all your favorite drivers here to see where they finish. Ryan Preece dead last. That's a shame. Kyle Busch gets the win, and Brad Keselowski finishes second. So just like the real life finish. How about that? And other than that, I don't see anything too out of the ordinary. Just your Pocono race, and we got one out of the way. Here's the point standing. You see Kyle Busch is closing in on me a little bit. Finally got a win on the board. I guess that was his first win of the season so far. So he finally gets on the board. It's kind of surprising, I know, considering how he's been kicking butt in real life. But yeah, this definitely starting to get a lot of wins here on the top side of the board. But we still got those 5 wins, 38 playoff points, and a pretty substantial lead. So we don't have anything to worry about right now. And we are back at the shop now. Pocono in the books, finished 18th, which is a pretty big disappointment a couple weeks in a row. But we move on to my home track and another race that I will be attending in person, leaving on Friday for that one. So that'll be interesting. I'll have to get a couple of days ahead on video, so you guys will have things to enjoy while I'm out of town. But it was a lot of fun going to the Detroit GP. I hope I did a decent job explaining my time to you guys, because it's kind of hard to drive and talk about what you did over the weekend at the same time, but I think I did a decent enough job. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So thank you guys for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed this little bit different kind of championship mode video. I know I spent a lot of it talking more than I usually would about things other than the race that's actually ongoing. But we'll have that next week again, and then we'll kind of be back to normal for a little while. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace!